before, I think these are the words that she used, I'm paraphrasing, before any of the others, the trusted friend needs to be in place. So it sounds like Haley's suggesting that trusted friend is the most important. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. It was in the book, but.
Okay, well, what do you guys think?
I'm offended. I think ours is really important.
Amber?
I think in all what you said, it's all important, but having that groundwork for trust is the biggest thing. Trusting that person, knowing that they're going to do that for you, that's the most important thing. And that's what you want to be for someone else, is someone that they can trust.
Kelly?
I don't know if I necessarily agree wholeheartedly that that's the first one, because I believe that the people that you're teaching need to believe that you know what you're talking about. You need to be qualified to actually be there in the first place, and that, in my opinion, builds that trust.
Yeah, I'm gonna push back on that for one thing, okay? How many of you have had a professor that has 3 letters behind his or her name, so the supposed qualifications, and yet they're crappy? And this is no critique. Okay? Don't water it down, just be honest, okay now. But it's, how often does a credential equate to, because I know where you're going, and I believe in that. You've got to trust that credentials kind of inherently lead to some trust. I mean, you sign up for a class trusting that that instructor knows what he or she is talking about. And then maybe you get in and see something else. So you immediately assign certain value and importance to that instructor at the beginning. What causes you, though, to lose that trust if you're losing it with that instructor?
Either they'll be disorganized, explain things unclearly, or they just make a lot of withdrawals, I guess.
Okay, so going back to the emotional bank account. Okay, so we may assign some immediate value and trust to someone, and they may retain that, or they may have too many withdrawals, and that may cause us to lose that trust. Yeah, Kellen.
Yeah, I'll push back even a little bit.
Please, that's awesome. Push back.
That I would say that they failed to convince you that they were fully qualified. Maybe they're qualified in that subject, but they're not qualified as a teacher. And so they failed to meet that expectation.
Thanks for pushing back. Love it. Rob?
I'll even add on top of that for me, I mean, if there was a guy that was going to teach me how to make money, if I was to go meet Donald Trump, and he's going to teach me how to make money, I'm not going to be a friend with that guy because I don't agree with a lot of the things he does in his life and different things like that. So he may not be a trusted friend with me, but you better believe I'll listen because he knows how to make money. So it's that kind of thing. He's got the credentials, he got the background, so I will listen. Whether or not we're going to have that friend relationship, I'll listen.
Or whether or not you may be willing to share certain things. So a lot of it depends on where you want to have, what kind of a relationship you want to have with that mentor. So is it strictly informational?
Right.
I want to glean as much as I can from your success, but not get close to you, type of thing? Yeah. Good.
So and I could be wrong, but it sounds like maybe peer leader is the one that is first. Because when I came into this class, I didn't even know who you were, but automatically you're the peer leader before anything else, because you are the teacher of this class. Whether you have credentials or not, you are our teacher. You know, my mentor in my last student success class, I didn't even know who he was, but right from the beginning, he was the peer leader. Now, obviously, he has to, become a trusted friend, and I'm going to see that he's going to become a student advocate, and I'm going to assess, whether he's making withdrawals or deposits in my account and in his. I feel like when we know that someone is a leader, that's where it starts, because that's when we're going to begin to make the assessments, and that's when we're going to begin to trust the person and see that they are rooting for us, or they are trying to help us and help us find connecting things.
Okay,
So,
so,
I mean, could that be?
so what I think I hear, based on what people are saying, is the importance of the role, which is most important, is it conditional? Because I hear what Kellen's saying, I
Yeah.
hear what Rob is saying, the Donald Trump scenario. Sounds like there's conditions on it. We'll go Amber, and then did you want to share something too? Okay, so Amber, go ahead.
I also think it's on how you perceive it, on
Okay.
your perception of it.
Explain what you mean.
Like you're saying, you walk in, you automatically know he's the teacher. But we perceive that. But I knew him before this, so I can say that when I came in, he was, kind of like a connecting linker. I know he would go to advocate for me if I needed him to. It's just, I guess it's on how we perceive the situation.
Good, so there's a perception element. Bryce, you had something, and then I think Ben was going to chime in.
I was going to say that, yeah, it is conditional. It just depends on what you value the most at that time, is what's most important to you. For example, I've had a peer leader who was my roommate, and I still look up to the guy a lot. He took the time to be my personal mentor. He taught me so many different things, so like life skills, because he's a little bit older than I am, and he's just more experienced, and so he knows those things. But yeah, he cared enough. I consider him a trusted friend, and I consider him a peer leader, and I think it is just conditional. Whereas if I'm in a more academic setting, if I am just here to glean knowledge off of someone, I think you don't have to get as close to that person if you're just there to glean knowledge from them. But if you want to model your life after them, then it is crucial to have that trusted relationship, to get to know them, their habits, and to get to know who they really are if you want to become like them.
Thank you. Ben, did you want to share something?
Yeah, was there someone else? No. Okay.
You're up.
Just a couple of comments. So it's interesting how you're viewing Darren as a peer, as a peer. I just think that's interesting. That's great. That's good. Because peers, typically, it's classmates, right? That's interesting. So it kind of breaks down authority. And anyway, that's just a quick comment. Another thing is so I teach 1,000, and that's class since last year. So I've had mentors do excellent, high quality work in my classes, and occasionally I'll have a mentor say, "Hey, just haven't been able to connect with the student," and I think they're trying to get to that trusted friend part, but for that student, sometimes that's not what they want. It doesn't happen very often. They try to schedule one-on-one or something. I'm sure we'll get more into this, but they just kind of avoid them. Or there'll be one student like this, and so it's interesting. Also, another part I just want to quickly comment on. So I did an informal survey, and the peer mentors, the mentors did a short presentation on the 5 links, right?
5 roles.
5 roles. Thank you. Yeah, including connecting. And so they did a short presentation on that. I think the first day of class, which is very short. This is what my role is. This is what I do. And then I gave a quiz about 3 weeks later, so maybe a lot of students forgot about what was talked about. And I just asked, what do you think? I asked the students, what do you think is the most important role for the student mentor? And about 75% answered trusted friend. So that was interesting, having little context. So we've had a healthy discussion here, but they've had. I thought that was, at least from there, this my short survey in class. That's about 75 students. That's what I got.
I think that's interesting that you point out a couple things. The whole idea of trusted friend, that not everyone may want that. Rob wouldn't want that from Donald Trump. I don't think I would either. No offense, Donald Trump, if you watch this on YouTube, because I don't want to be fired by you.
You're fired.
And then I thought that was very insightful about the perception of me being a peer. I would guess that maybe you don't feel that way with all of your professors. I don't know. Is there a reason why you mentioned that? That you feel that I'm a peer as opposed to a teacher versus teacher-student
Well, I think that a teacher and a student, they have the opportunity to create a meaningful relationship. And I think that should be the case. I think that a teacher and a student or, you know, the teacher towards his students should create in his classroom an atmosphere where it's comfortable, you know, to discuss and to be open, and especially in this class, in the student success classes, we should be doing that. And I think that when that happens, we start to facilitate a strengthening of a relationship, you know, to where we do trust each other. And, you know, I don't view my teachers as a peer, you know, well, I don't value your opinion because you're just one of my peers. But it's more of a, you know, a relationship that's gone farther, that I value your opinion because you are my peer and I trust what you have to say. And I think that when a relationship can evolve to that point, it becomes much more successful for you and those around you.
Good, thank you. Kevin?
So this is going to be the political science of me talking.
Awesome.
A peer is supposed to be like a trusted leader. Like in the 1300s, it's the jury of our peers, if you will, and they're actually noblemen. They're not your friends. They're not people you associate with. And somehow, somewhere along the line, peer, the word kind of got redefined, if you will. So yeah, I would consider you as a trusted leader, but not necessarily like a student like us.
Peer by age or by role. Good. Good historical perspective there, thank you. So what's our response then? Is there a most important one? Is it conditional? Are we okay to say that it's conditional? If we want the relationship, then trusted friend. Is that safe to say then? If the trusted friend is probably going to be a foundational one, especially if the person wants a relationship. If they just want information.